Welcome back to the Nash Potatoes Coffee Show. This is episode 3. We're doing another coffee tasting today, and we've got a newcomer today, and I will introduce them here in a second. But first of all, I want to tell you what we're doing. We're gonna do a blind coffee tasting of 4 medium roast coffees, brewed using the French roast process, and all the coffees are going to be unflavored and from well-known companies. And so let me introduce my guest today. Over here we got my dad, otherwise known as Howard. Howie Mandel in the house. And then we got my mom, also known as Dodie Dodie El Fayed. And then we got Deborelli. Deborah, the third bird is in the house with us tonight. All right. So I got 3 guests today, so this is an extra special episode. We're out in South Haven, hanging out downtown South Haven, so it's going to be a good day. It's a little rainy, and we thought we'd do a coffee tasting. So I wanted to give a little rundown, give a background to some of you newcomers, and coffee tasting is kind of new to a lot of people. So we are not super tasters. To give you some statistics, 25% of the population is considered to be a super taster. And they actually have more taste buds in their mouths. They typically tend to be wine connoisseurs, coffee tasters, chefs, head chefs. They can just taste stuff different than what a normal taster can do. Normal tasters make up about 50% of the population, and non-tasters make up about 25% of the population. They typically have less taste buds in their mouth. Food just doesn't taste that good to them. They just eat to stay alive. The way coffee is scored, it's on a 100-point scale. Anything that scores over an 80 is considered to be specialty coffee. And that word specialty tends to be thrown around kind of loosely. So specialty is very much different than gourmet coffee or premium coffee. If you're considered specialty coffee, you've been professionally graded and scored higher than 80 or higher. And that's different than commodity coffee, like Folgers and Maxwell House are considered to be commodity coffee. Specialty coffee is a class all by itself. And to give you an idea, in the last 25 years, the market share of specialty coffee has grown from 1% to 20%. So when you walk into a grocery store, if you think about it that way, only 1 out of 5 bags of coffee is going to be considered specialty. 80% is probably going to be below that 80 scale. So. And to give you one more quick note, so I picked out the coffees. I know which coffees we're tasting. I don't know what order we're tasting them in. So I do have a slight advantage in that I know about which 4 coffees they are. I just don't know which order they're coming in. So I have a slight advantage, but this is a very informal tasting. We should be all right. And I wanted to give everybody a little perspective. So coffeereview.com, they review tons of coffees. They've got very great tasters with great palates, and so I went on their website and found some of their scores from well-known coffees. So to give you a baseline, starting from the lower end to the higher end, Folgers came in at a 67, which gives you an idea. That's below the specialty level. Maxwell House came in at 78, which is also below the specialty coffee level. Now, which came in right at the specialty coffee line is Starbucks Veranda. Their new light roast came in at 80. And Peet's Luminosa, which is Peet's Coffee, Luminosa is the coffee. Peet's Coffee is the company. Luminosa is the name of the light roast coffee that they roast. That came in an 88, which is really good. So the two of the ones that I'm familiar with that I really love, Jamaican Blue Mountain is one of my favorite. That came in an 89, but just to give you an idea, that goes for $50 a pound. So now we're getting into the stuff that's very expensive that you would probably not drink on a normal basis. Kona came in at a 96, which goes for $100 a pound. And coffeereview.com has never scored anything higher than a 97. So don't score anything higher than a 97 because we're not paying $100 a pound. Alright guys, it's time for some tasting. This is how we're going to do it. As I mentioned, the coffee is prepared using a French press. We've got our first batch sitting right here in front of us. We're going to taste each coffee twice. We're going to taste coffee number 1 just as a black coffee, and then number 2, 3, and 4 also as black coffees. And then we're going to go back and taste the same 4 coffees using adding half and half and scoring them again. So my dad will have 2 scores for each coffee, my mom 2, my 2, Deb's 2. We'll take 8 scores and average them, and then we'll have 1 winner and 3 losers. All right, guys, and we're going to keep our scores. We're going to discuss the coffees, but we're going to try to keep our scores semi-private as to not persuade each other's scoring. So here we go. This is our first cup right here. Dad, will you grab Mom's also? And this is a medium roast prepared using a French press. It's from a well-known coffee company. It's unflavored. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Sunday afternoon coffee tasting. It doesn't get a whole lot better than this. Let's go around the table. Dad, what's your first impression?
Weak.
So weak in that it's a too light of a roast, or not enough flavor, or
tastes like instant coffee.
Okay, Mom.
Bold.
Bold. So we got weak and bold, opposite ends of the spectrum. This is why my parents are on the show. Completely ridiculous. But hey, everybody has different palates, and my dad clearly likes different stuff than my mom likes. Deb, what are your, just a first impression?
It was weak.
Okay.
I have to agree with Howard, yes.
So my first impression, for me, it was very smooth, very mellow.
Yeah.
What they are calling weak, I taste a sense of a little bit of flavor to it, almost like you would find in a light roast.
Yeah.
But this is just our first tasting, so we'll be able to compare and contrast on the future tastes. So we'll have a little bit, you know, this kind of sets the groundwork, but I thought it was pretty good. So what we're going to do, we're going to score these, and we're going to get ready for coffee tasting number 2. So as Chuck Woolery would say, we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back with coffee number 2. If you're just joining us, we've got Howie Mandel, Dodie El Fayed, and the third bird, and I'm Jason. So this is the second coffee. We're still on the black coffees. We're going to give this a taste and see what everybody thinks. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
So this time I want to start on the other side of the table. Deb, first impression?
I think it's weaker than the first.
Mother, it's your...
I don't know what they're talking about. It's not weak at all. In my opinion, it's nice and mellow.
I think it's weak too.
Do you really?
Interesting.
It doesn't. It just doesn't have any like robust taste or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like coffee.
Yeah. So one thing you should know about this group of people, so whereas I typically, for each 6 ounces of water in the French press, I'll add 1 tablespoon of coffee. So for 4, so what the coffee pot considers 4 cups of coffee, I would put 4 tablespoons of coffee grounds. My parents would do half that. So they're typically used to a weaker cup of coffee than I am. Not only that, but my mom usually uses half and half with her coffee. So we've got different palates in the room, definitely. For me, this coffee, I actually really like it. I think it may be just a wild guess, like a Maxwell House Folgers type of coffee. I don't know. But to be honest with you, I like it. So we're going to score this, go brew pot number 3, and we will be right back. All right, we're back with coffee number 3. As I was pouring the coffee, a couple comments that I heard from the audience was, what did we hear?
Darker.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Looks a little darker. First impression type of stuff. So here we go. Coffee number 3. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
It's better. More of a coffee taste.
Yes.
Less of a water taste.
Yes.
Mom, I think it's your turn to go first.
My turn to go first. Well, let me have one more sip.
She is going to soak up the TV time as much as she can.
Yep, this one's of all three. I like this one the best.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree.
Dad and Deb, do you have any like descriptive
There's more coffee taste to it.
Yes.
It's more
Yeah.
like it's
More
bolder.
flavorful.
more
Yep.
flavorful, tiny bit darker? How about the strength?
It's stronger. It's
Strength
more
is
bold.
strength is
A little
good.
stronger.
You can actually taste the coffee.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. It could be a little stronger,
Oh, Deb.
but it's better than the first two. Yes.
For me, this is a very quality cup, and I agree with everything you guys
Yeah.
have said. This is probably the best one yet. So
Very good.
yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and brew pot number 4, and we'll be right back. All right, it's caffeination time, baby. We're in South Haven. This is cup number 4. We're getting all wound up, and we're going to give it a taste and see what we think.
All right, cheers. Wow.
So they're thinking, did I save the best for last, or did I not save the best for last? Who wants to jump in on this one? Is it my turn to go first?
It's your turn.
This is this I think it's great. I love the darkness of it. I love the aftertaste. Everything about it I love. What do you think, Deb?
I totally agree. I think this is the best out of
Dad, so if you have been watching my episodes, you know that my dad is my harshest critic. Because in between takes, I said, Dad, I can't believe you're calling these people's coffee instant coffee. I said, these are big brands that work hard. So I'm interested to know what my dad thinks.
It's the best.
All right. Mother?
I thought the third one was my best.
Okay. But
It's
how
a
does this
little
one
bit
compare?
Stronger.
Okay.
In flavor.
This is stronger in flavor?
Flavor
Yes,
for
it
me.
is.
And
That's what makes
yep.
it best for me.
Okay.
Which,
Okay.
stronger in flavor doesn't mean that's, what I like.
No.
So-
That's why my rating makes it best of the 4.
Yeah. So that's why we average the scores, because everybody has different palates. But we hope to come to a consensus by averaging them. So now what we're going to do, I have kept the 4 coffees that we just prepared. I'm going to go add half and half to them. We're going to taste the same 4 all over again in the same order, and we're going to compare and contrast. We're going to score it again. Does the cream, does it enhance the flavor? Does it ruin the flavor? As you've seen in previous episodes, we had really bad coffees that tasted really good with half and half, and then also vice versa. We had really good coffees where the half and half just took the flavor out of it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We're going to continue to ride this caffeine high, and we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we are back. So this is coffee number 1. We have added half and half. Somebody's phone is going off. So just some side notes here. My dad does not drink his coffee with half and half. Deb does once in a while. Deb, once in a while?
Now and then.
Now and then. My mom drinks it with half and half every morning. I used to drink my coffee black in the morning, and then I added half and half in the afternoon. Now I've switched to lattes in the afternoon, but so we've got, once again, we've got a good variety, and so we're going to taste this one and see what we've got. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. This is number 1 over again.
So as you know, we have some frames of reference now. We have already tasted all 4 coffees, so we know where this falls in the lineup. And we also know we left some notes from the first time we tasted it. So how does it fall in the lineup, and did the half and half enhance the flavor or reduce the flavor based on the first time we tasted it? So any opinions on this?
Makes it taste better to me.
I had absolutely no change.
Really?
Oh, so my dad thinks it tastes the same. How about you, Deb?
I can taste the cream.
So the first time I tasted this one, I wrote down smooth and mellow, and I gave it a pretty high score. And then we've added the half and half. You know, I'm with you, Dad. It tastes this. I still really love this one.
It made no taste change to me.
Yeah, so I don't think that you guys didn't love it as much the first time. Go back to your notes and.
That's why I'm going to score it the same.
Yeah, what did you call it on the first time? You said it was a little weak. Yeah.
Weak.
Lacked flavor.
Lacked flavor. So
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
say instant coffee.
So for me, it was the cream didn't have much of an impact, but I still thought it was good. So we'll score these. I'll go grab cup number 2 with the half and half, and we will return. All right, we're back. This is coffee number 2 with half and half added. I want to discuss coffee number 1 for a second because we had some side chatter while I was getting this ready. So the first tasting, my dad did not like it, and he thought, what were we talking about?
It tastes like hot water.
But how did it go from with cream to no cream?
It tasted like hot water with a little bit of milk in it.
But what did you say off camera?
What did they say?
So, okay, so this is what it was. So my dad didn't like the coffee, and I did like the coffee. He thought the cream changed it.
No, it tasted exactly the same to me. There was no taste. It's just bland, period.
Okay. Well, I thought I liked it. He didn't like it. She thought the cream enhanced the flavor. And Deb, what was your opinion on that first one?
I could just taste the half and half, the cream.
Yeah, so that's a good point. The half and half overruled the flavor of the coffee.
Yes.
So that's what I was trying to express was our huge difference here. Coffee that I like, coffee he doesn't like, coffee where the cream enhanced the flavor, and the cream took away the flavor that she didn't like in the beginning. So very interesting to see how this is all playing out. But so is this coffee number 2 with half and half?
Number 2,
All right, let's get it on.
Here we go.
So I want to look back at my notes and see what I thought. Yeah, so this is interesting to me. I'll start on this one. I think the cream has, in my opinion, I thought this was a very middle of the road coffee, and I feel like the cream enhanced it up a step or two. But what do you guys think?
I think it enhanced it a step or two lower.
Then it did not enhance it, Mom. This is my mom. She is freaking hilarious. She has her own dictionary. She uses her own words, and that's just how she rolls. So her words, it's not a milk frother, it's a milk frother. And it's not December, it's December. Right, Mom? Dad, what is your thought on this?
I don't taste any change whatsoever.
No change. What about like the scoring? Are you going to score it exactly the same?
Exactly the same.
Okay, interesting. Deb?
I thought the flavor was a little better.
Okay.
But I still can taste the cream. I just don't like.
Deb is not happy about the half and half. So when Deb does do half and half, it's typically flavored
Yes.
cream, right? Okay.
Yes.
So that's another aspect that we have to the whole mix here. So,
That's true.
and like I said, I feel like it enhanced it a bit at middle of the road coffee. Now it's like a middle to a little bit higher of the road. So we're gonna go prepare the third cup with half and half, and we will be right back. Welcome back to the Nash Potatoes Coffee Show. Once again, as you know, caffeine enhances the chatter, and we've been chatting between takes. My dad brought up a good point that I didn't think of. So some of you know my background and some of you don't. So I owned a coffee franchise for, took me about a year to get it open. I ran it for 4 years. My mom ran it for 4 years. So it was open for a total of like 8 years. And so my mom is very good about picking out good coffee. So in the mornings, my parents drink great coffee. And so that is his baseline. The coffees that we're drinking, the first couple ones, just didn't meet up to his standards because he's used to drinking good coffee. And so that was a very interesting point that he brought up. So right now we are at the third tasting, the second round of the third tasting, where we added some half and half. And another side note is that Deb at home right now is drinking Dunkin' Donuts. So that's kind of where her palate is at right now. So we've got I've been drinking the Archer Farms coffee, which comes from Target. Right now they have Meyer brand. It's a light roast breakfast blend, which is awesome. We had that this morning. So that's where our palates are at right now. Our baseline is at, I should say. So let's try number 3, guys.
All right.
Missed you, Mom. Got it. Who wants to go first on this one?
I'm going to say that it detracted taste. It tasted better black.
Exactly. Totally agree.
I agree.
Totally agree.
So on the first round, I wrote down good flavor. And with the half and half, I would agree. The flavor has been diminished a bit.
Yeah.
But so it's not as good with half and half, but is it still good? Because I think we all agree that this was a really good one.
I wouldn't drink it.
Not this way.
Wow, the half and half has ruined it, whereas they thought this was a very good one. What about you, Mom?
I just maybe 2 points less, but
Would you buy it? Would you still
I
drink
would
it?
still drink
She
it.
would still drink it.
Yeah.
And I'm with my mom. I would still drink it, but it's very interesting that the cream has ruined it for you guys. So a lot of people out there, I've seen a lot of blogs where they have always put cream and sugar in their coffee, and then they go to a coffee tasting and they drink it black, and they realize, wow, this is really good black.
yeah.
So that's just a good point to make. Is that good coffee is good by itself. So it's a very interesting point. So I'm going to try to remember to score this one before I go grab cup number 4. We'll see you in 2 and 2. All right, guys, we're back with our final tasting. And my dad says it smells like coffee, so we're on the right track here. My mom made a comment between takes that is a very valid point, is that I mentioned that the first tasting is the hardest one, the very first one that we taste, because you have nothing to measure it against. Now, this is the very last one, so there's an advantage in that we have multiple tastings to measure it against. So I think that's why it's good that we're able to average 4 scores.
Maybe next time you put the 4th one at the top. And go backwards for the cream. So the top one will be, the first one will be.
Oh, that's a good point too. Yeah, so we're tweaking it as we go along. My mom found a new way to make the coffee hot for the French press. We're just shaking and baking on a Sunday afternoon. So this is the second tasting of number 4. Let's check it out. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
My mom says, yep. What does that mean, Mom?
That's my favorite.
So my notes last time on this one says very good. So I clearly liked the first round. Deb, what are your thoughts?
It's very, very good, but I still taste the cream. That
Oh.
just ruins it for
So
me.
this is a good question. So I added the same amount of cream to each cup. So is the cream ruining it, period, or is it too much cream?
It's too much cream for me.
Okay, interesting.
It ruined it for me too.
My dad is still tasting instant coffee over here. It's just hot water with coffee.
Actually, the point of taking 10 points off me. That's how much difference.
Now I've pissed him off and he's taken 10 points. I apologize to this brand. I have made the man mad. Mom, what is your opinion?
Very good. I
All right.
I like it better with the cream, of course. So.
So are you going to score it higher compared to what you scored it on the first time?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I
In
wrote
all fairness, though, I don't drink with cream, so it does. It's an unfair test for me.
Yeah.
And I really don't either.
Yeah.
As much.
So yeah.
And so for me, I wrote very good, which very good is something that I would drink over and over and over. And I don't know if I could drink this over and over and over. I think the flavor, the cream diminished the flavor just a tiny bit. So what we're going to do is we are going to average up all the scores. And we will be right back with 1 winner, 3 losers. See you in a minute. All right, guys, we're back. This is the big reveal. We've averaged up all the scores. So my dad had a score for number 1, once when it was black, once with cream. My mom has 2 scores, I have 2 scores, and the third bird has 2 scores. So we've got 8 scores that we've averaged out. We are going to start with the last place winner. And so let's see, what do we have here? Our second tasting scored 54.3, which was the lowest. And that one is the Archer Farms House Blend Medium Roast. So if you can see that on the camera there, Archer Farms House Blend Medium Roast scored a 54.3. And I like to kind of give you an idea what this costs in the store. So I realize that these come typically in 12-ounce packages from the store, but in order to get everything on a standardized price, we go for the per pound price. So Archer Farms at Target is where I bought all these coffees from. Goes for $8.92 per pound. So, and that was the last place coffee. So the third place coffee was our first tasting. And that was Dunkin' Donuts, Deb. But it was the Dunkin' Donuts Colombian. So the Dunkin' Donuts Colombian right there, that one scored a 58.1. At the store, that one goes for $11.19, which is interesting because I'm assuming that Deb drinks the original blend of Dunkin' Donuts,
I believe so.
which is a little bit less expensive, and she probably likes it a little bit better. So the Colombian sells at a premium price. So second place, drum roll. I guess you do drum roll for first place, don't you? Erase. Okay, so this is tasting number 3, right, Mom?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was number 7. Ooh, this is Starbucks Colombian Blend.
Ooh.
This one scored a 67.6.
Okay.
Starbucks Colombian Blend right there. That one goes at the store for $10.65 per pound. So oh my gosh, this is blowing my mind right now because I just saw the photo. Any guesses on what our first place winner is?
Folgers.
Guess.
Maxwell House.
I have no idea.
My mind is blown. Folgers House Blend is our first place winner. Congratulations to Folgers. Wow.
Yes.
So we gave it a 74.1. Not only did it win, it won by a long shot. So listen to this. This goes for $5.41 per pound. So those of you who have written off the Folgers House Blend, can we give them a round of applause? Woo! They beat out Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Archer Farms. And I got to tell you that, so our first 2 coffee tastings, Starbucks was the winner. I'm a fan of Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm a huge fan of the Archer Farms blend, which comes from Target. So, all right, guys, we've got a wrap-up question for you. If you could post in the comments section of this video, whether it be on YouTube or on your social media site, I want to know which coffee is your favorite. And more importantly, what is your opinion on Folgers? Have you written them off? Do you love them? Do you hate them? I want to know. Post it in the comments section. Also, if you could like my video, I would really appreciate it. Deb, do you mind pushing that towards the camera? That's what the like button looks like. Like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Looks like this. And I don't know if, I think a lot of people are not aware with how to share videos on YouTube, but there's actually a share button, and you just click that share button, and then you can either click on the social media site that you want to share it to, or you can copy and paste that link. So thanks for watching the Nash Potatoes Coffee Show. I also want to thank my parents for participating, and my best friend Deb for being in the house. We'll see you next time on the Nash Potatoes Coffee Show.
Bye.